Hi, how are you doing? In this video, you're going to learn about JavaScript object types. Okay, so these are the things we're going to cover in this video. It's quite a lot, but it's pretty easy. Okay, so first thing, creating an object. How do you create an object in JavaScript? There are two ways. One is using these two curly braces, also known as object literal. Okay, or we can use the new operator followed by the object constructor. Okay, so this is another way. Now don't worry about the constructor, we're going to come back to the objects uh, to learn more about the advanced features of objects later on. Okay, so for the moment we can use either ways. So let's create a variable first. Let's create a variable person, and then as you know, variable can hold all kinds of data. It can hold string, number, function, objects, anything. So in this case, we're going to give it a object value. All right. So variable person is an object. Now I could use new operator as well. Okay. This way also fine. Okay. So I created an object, but okay, so that's fine. That's the first thing is done. Next thing, accessing properties. Okay. To access properties, we have to first add, because we didn't have any properties yet. So let's add person. Let's add name. Name is Ryan. Let's add person as, let's say, 30. Okay, so now we got two properties to add it to this object. So let's try accessing them. Console log person name person age. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Ryan 30. Great. So it works. We could add properties to the object. We could access the properties using the dot notation. Let me go back and use the object literal. Okay. And this is a preferred way as well, because it's easy to read. It's easy, and then you see this pattern used everywhere. Okay. We have the same object, but this time we use the object literal. The difference is I can't have the semicolon. I have to separate each properties with a comma. Okay. So once we are in the object, we have to use the, we don't use the equal operator, we use this colon instead. Okay. So person name we assigned Ryan, and then age is that. Okay, because we are already inside a person, so there's no point saying person. We just add the property name and then the value. All right, great. Now let's refresh, and we get that. Awesome. So we used the object. We created object using the object literal. Okay, that's great. Okay, so we access the properties using the dot notation. There is another method of accessing properties using bracket notation. I can even use bracket now. Okay, so instead of dot, I use bracket, and inside bracket I need the quotes, and then I can put the property name that I want to access. Okay, property name, I'm using the bracket notation. Let's see if it works. Yep, no problem. Okay, so that's another way. Now this gets super useful when you have a property name which is something like something that has space. My fav things. Okay, my favorite things. Okay. Movies. So how do we access this? Because with using dot notation, it doesn't make sense. My person dot my and a space, that wouldn't work, right? So what we can do is, that's why I put inside the quotes here, and then I can also access this property if I'm using object notation. Oh, sorry, the square brackets. Okay, bracket notation. If I'm using that, no problem. Okay, person favorite things, it has a space, but no problem. Yeah, movies 30. So it gets useful when you have something like this. Okay, I don't think you want to use something like that, but in you come across the situation where you need to access properties using bracket notation. Okay, so that's great. We covered these as well. Okay, what's next? Next is accessing object properties with variables. That's pretty easy. This objects properties values we can store in a variable. Let's variable object name equals to person dot name, or even use the bracket notation. It's the same thing. Variable object, and now I can simply use object name. Pretty straightforward. Yep, it works. We could even add methods. Okay, normally when you hear these words, right, properties and methods. So what's method? Methods is a function. Now we haven't covered the functions yet, so I don't want to really do this, but I'll just do it here just so you know. Okay, so I create a function. Let's call it say name. Okay, so this is a property name, say name, and it will have a value of function. Okay, now don't worry, we'll talk about function in the coming videos. Okay, so name has string, as has number value. In a similar way, say name will have function value. Okay, function, and this is anonymous function. It has no name, no identifier assigned to it. Okay, just a function. So this function, what we'll do is it will say this name. This represents to the enclosing context. Okay, now the context enclosing context at this moment is within these two curly braces. Now we're going to learn about scopes as well. This is a bit advanced topic. Okay, so for the moment just understand inside every object there is this property. You can use this property. This points to the person itself. Okay, this itself. So this name, when you say it simply means person to the name. Okay, so we got this method as well, say name. So let's try that. Console log, instead of doing all this, actually object name, say name, and we have to invoke the function using these parentheses. Okay, if you don't use parentheses, it doesn't get invoked. Okay, so again we need the return statement, otherwise it does nothing. Okay, so don't worry about this function, we're going to cover this in future. Okay, so this is another property which has a function value, and then let's try this if it works, if we get this. Okay, say name is not defined at 25. Okay, that's because person dot say name. Okay, this is the property of this object. Okay. So first 130, awesome.